Today, we're diving into a somewhat of a disturbing story about a Twitter account that's been making waves for all the wrong reasons. The account goes by a few names. The person who owns the X accounts is claiming to be an American-Israeli woman with a compelling backstory. On one of her accounts, she claims to have been born in Maryland and grew up in Israel. On another account, Cheryl claims to be a mother, wife, history buff, and an Israeli soldier herself. Another account, she claims to be an IDF sniper. Another account, she is a mother, wife, and city girl, wife of an IDF soldier. Some of the photos she uses are AI or, at least from the looks of it, stock photos. She also claimed to have survived the Maxim restaurant bombing in Haifa. Even though she lived through the attack, it left her mute due to the injuries she allegedly sustained. Her family, who was also at the restaurant, were not so lucky, leaving Cheryl an orphan at 16 or 17 years old. The account allegedly leveraged this identity to gain credibility and sympathy, particularly within pro-Israel communities, while soliciting donations through platforms like Buy Me a Coffee or Wine. A few individuals on X identified the holes in Cheryl's story. For one, Cheryl's claims of being in the IDF were debunked due to their own policies. As a mute, Cheryl would be labeled as being disabled, and no way would they allow her to become a sniper in the American or Israeli military. She also claimed to be pregnant while serving in the IDF in a combat role, which would not be allowed under Israeli law, which makes this a case of stolen valor. Stolen valor is where someone falsely represents themselves as having military credentials or experiences. Once discovered, this person changed their story. Users on Reddit pointed out inconsistencies in the account story as well. In her writings, she described sheltering from Iranian missiles, miscarriages, a terminal illness, claimed she was going hungry, and her infant son dying. Despite all of these things going on, she somehow had the time and energy to write and respond to her followers and critics. Not just with one account, several accounts, and somehow have the time to contribute to other accounts pushing certain talking points. And perhaps the biggest red flag was that a few X accounts researched her story about being a Maxim survivor. A review of the victim lists from the bombing reportedly shows no match with the details Cheryl provided, suggesting the story was invented, along with other time and dates that don't match up. The scam has gained attention in a few ways, partly due to the billionaire Bill Ackman's public endorsements of the account, which has come under scrutiny. It has to be said that Bill Ackman wasn't the only one to believe her story. There were those people thought Cheryl was a real person. The account frequently posted emotional updates about personal hardships, including a miscarriage, pregnancy risks during cancer treatment, and upcoming medical procedures like biopsies and chemo. These posts garnered massive engagement. If you read the comments the donors left on her Buy Me a Coffee page, some left donations specifically because of her alleged hardships. Critics claimed she has raised around $65,000 to $100,000, plus whatever she made off of engagement from X. There was also this bit of inconsistency. Cheryl claimed to be an orphan, then why is this X account calling her sister, and why is Cheryl E talking in third person when it's from the same account? Since X is going to implement a change where a user's real country of origin will come up in their profile, that may have been a reason the Cheryl Wrote It account had recently been rebranded and remains active but without the original backstory. On October 17th, followers were greeted with this final goodbye post before the name change. Post-exposure, the operator of the account changed the handle to @Chaya's Clan, Friends of Chaya. The rebranded account was scrubbed of incriminating posts, continued operations under the new name in an attempt to distance the account from the scandal. However, community sleuthing linked them definitively. One account has claimed she was harassed by Cheryl. Some accounts like this one are asking for a refund. Some think it is an Indian account. Some think it is an account run out of England. According to the account Eli's wife, who now has the handle @Cheryl Wrote It. The Eli account said the Cheryl Wrote It account was run by a man who went by the name of Nathan from New Jersey. Nathan allegedly gave the handle to Eli's wife as a gesture of goodwill. Since the account was scrubbed of the incriminating posts, Eli's wife decided to expose the Cheryl account. However, some doubted that claim. In one tweet, Eli's wife claimed to swipe the handle, then said it was given to them, then claimed their name was Cheryl. Questions came up asking why would anyone want such a tainted handle? The story gets a little stranger. There were claims that the Cheryl Wrote It account had a Russian connection. Supposedly the money donated to Shirley's Buy Me a Coffee page was being handled by a Russian woman and that Nathan might have been the one to get the account off the ground. So far, no ex-users have posted that evidence publicly. If any evidence does exist, it might be held privately or possibly with law enforcement. This Reddit post had shed some more light on the situation. The original Cheryl Wrote It account went by somewhat of a different name. That of Cheryl E596628 back in 2017. Back then, the account was a pro-Palestinian, anti-Brexit account from South England. It went silent in 2022. Then resurfaced in 2023 with the same ID, but this time changing their whole persona. Large section of the narrative used for the Cheryl Wrote It account came from the book American Sniper and other publicly available sources. The Reddit poster pointed out the inconsistencies and shifting narrative in the account's story and timeline. The account clearly exploited a tragic situation and distorted the truth for profit or attention. As of the making of this video, the Cheryl Wrote It account has changed again. This time the account is labeled Mute Sniper, poking fun at Cheryl's story. This new version of Cheryl Wrote It set out to warn people and explaining the scam. The account Chaya's Clan is still up and running, minus the incredible backstory. If you like this story, check out the other stories on the main page. While you are there, please consider liking and subscribing.